Hello everybody, this is the HBJ, back for another hike. Today we are at Four Rivers, All Persons Trails, Four Rivers Environmental Center, which was really cool inside. I didn't want to take any videos inside, mess with people's privacy, but there's four rivers here. They got pelicans, eagles, heron, osprey. They got all sorts of wild, cool shit here. They got that riverside shelter. They got rivers and water everywhere. The Four Rivers Environmental Education Center, which is cool because the helpful lady inside gave me a manual on where all forest preserve districts are in the state of Illinois and Will County. That way I have a one-up on being able to do this shit. Bob Phillips, he loved to fish, bike, read, and tease. Just gonna put my gloves on now. There we go. That way we're one step ahead of the game. There we go. You are here. And these are all the trails, so we're just gonna dick around and hit all these trails and see where the fuck we go today. We might be here for a while, we might not. Let's get the party started. This seems like when we get up there to the front, seems like that there's another stop where people go for to park and do their trails. I always, as I always do, go to the very back and we go from there and see what the full experience of the place. If it was just a dead end, we'd pull back up and go start up there, but I figure it's the best place to park anyways, because if the nature center's open, more than likely you ain't got to worry about people messing with your stuff. We're going to start here at the confluence. You are here. I think we're going to go this way and loop. Maybe check out what this thing is. Well, that's the education center. Well, we're going to figure this shit out. We're just going to start walking. The South Loop Trail is that way. The Woodland Loop Trail's that way. The shelter and the Prairie Loop's this way. So if this is the education center, we came down to here. We keep going to the right and we're going to get to the shelter. And what's this? Grove? I feel we'll just go like this. Maybe hit this for the day. Let's see where we're going to go. It's always good to come out with a plan. But sometimes when you haven't been at a place or haven't done a lot of recon, you just gotta kind of wing it. Big old hole in the tree. This is nice because there's no ice today. They must take pretty good care of their trails, being that this might be a more populated trail. I see a big water source in front of us, which I'm guessing has to be one of the rivers. There's four of them. I'm going to stay on the trails today, just out of respect to the nature preserve in the center, because this is my first time out here. I'm sure during the summer the lady said that there's all sorts of man-made trails on the sides. We might check. We're definitely going to come back here. I've already decided that by going inside, and we're going to check out the different trails during the summer and spring and fall. How's it going? Another day in paradise. As we walk up to an opening, we get nice waterfront view. This Plains River backwater. You got all these. It says this is what you might see today. Lots of different birds, frogs, beavers, bass, minks, turtles, snakes, deer, mussels. This is what's so great about being outside and in the nature. You just never know what you're going to come across. I'm not going to go out on the river today. I will walk up to it just to get a nice view. But you could see what looks like animal prints. Always animal prints. But yeah, this river, frozen solid. It's a good 23, 20, 22, 23, 24 degrees today, depending on what you use to do your weather. Got a nice house here. I don't think it's in use no more. Could be, don't know. Got propane gas. Looks like the house is pretty beat up. Who knows if it's been inhabited for a while. Some of these places that have historic value, like the Little Red Schoolhouse and maybe places like this in Starved Rock, were around such a long time ago that now they have such historic value. They just leave certain things up. I think the Little Red Schoolhouse is cool because, I mean, if you like history and you like just learning about old shit, I mean, it doesn't get no more older than that. They just threw a fucking schoolhouse in the middle of what at the time to me would be middle of nowhere. And today it's still standing. I don't know if they had like a mini town over there or not, but yeah, now it's a nature center. But now, this is my boy, First Sergeant Tendo would love. We got the incline. Let's get stepping. Let's get those strides going, and don't lose our pace. So far, I like this place because not only do you get all this nature, it's cool now because of like I say in all the videos prior, the weather has killed everything off, so you don't got to worry about bugs. You ain't got to worry about overgrowth, which is something when they do trails like this you don't really have to worry too much about because you have your concrete path. But sometimes bugs become a fucking issue, especially when you're in the woods. Let's see. Here we go again. Old Hickory Woodland. So we've walked from here. We're all the way to here. We'll hit the loop. We'll try and go around. Maybe we'll do the whole thing today because we're making good time. Got all these birds. Probably ain't gonna see them because it's winter time. Woodpeckers, ton of them. Blue jays. Owls. Owls are always cool. Groundhogs, raccoons, deer. We'll see what we can see. We'll see if there's anything out today. Who's this in memory of? Tim Kilroy, Walking the Prairie. I like how they've done that where they have constant signs here to tell you where you're at and how far you've come along. I actually like that a lot because it'll tell you, it'll give you a sense of idea of what you're doing and how fast you're going. It's only been 9 minutes and we're crushing shit. HBJ is putting on a fucking pace today. It's cold though. That's probably one of the bigger reasons why. You got all this electric shit. I'm gonna rename this Electric Avenue because I can, because I will. Yeah, it's a petroleum pipeline here, so you want to stay on the path here. You don't want to go venturing out. You just never know what kind of dumb shit happens or what's buried. just stay where you're at. You got another river over on that side. I don't know if it's the same one on this side. I know a bunch of them are interconnecting. If I'm not mistaken, this is where that loop is, and it becomes a man-made trail. So we're gonna do it, and we're gonna go back and just keep going, keep rocking and rolling. Enjoy your trail. Here we go. The nature. Whoa! Oh, the HBJ almost went down, but he kept his balance like Barry fucking Sanders. I've been sporting a little bit of ankle injury. It's pre-existing from military and multiple surgeries, but yeah, something on Friday. I must have twisted it somehow, and it was bothering me all the way up until this morning. That slip didn't help much. Gotta try and stay with a good pace, but like the other day, you know, you got snow covered ice, just ice covered with snow. It's a little better, little patches. You always try and walk back and forth when you could see open, which would suck during the, I would say, spring, when it gets a little rainy, that this will all be mud. That's why we're doing the recon now, folks. We come back later on in the year, we'll know what areas to check off the list and what ones not to. This is another man-made trail going down. Thought I saw a snake for a minute. Keep hearing shit. Trying to look for the animals. Must just be my fucking imagination. Let's see. See if we can grab a rock and give her a little toss and see. Oh, that's the ice cracking. You could see little sections that aren't frozen, and you could hear sections cracking. I thought that was an animal or the trees. That part's frozen for sure, but you could see it up front. It's all water, and you get over there, if you could see, there's big sections of water. Interesting. I thought that I was gonna see some animals when all it is the ice giving some cracks. Nature's a silly thing sometimes, guys. Fucks with my head, though. I ain't used to this shit. We don't have fucking rivers and lakes where I grew up. Maybe Maple Lake, but that wasn't even close to where I lived. They go fishing there, though. Some more down trees. You'd assume you'd see a lot of this shit in big nature preserves. I mean, through time, trees end up dying. And I would assume, again, through time, it wouldn't take much to get them to just fucking crash. Like that one. Who knows where it came from, but it looks like these all fell from somewhere eventually. All this shit on the ground. What I think we'll do to cut a fat hog in the ass, we might walk back up to the car, take a break in filming, go park at the second spot, which is like a minute or less up the road, and then we'll start another trail up there. We'll see, though. We'll see how we'll see how the cookie crumbles up here. We'll get it rocking and rolling. as we got a break in action. Ain't much to see right now. We're gonna always give our shout out. Better view of the Black Rifle coffee. Gonna take a little bit of that when we get back to civilization, or when I stop filming, because I can't hold the camera and hold the coffee and climb around and act like a goof if I have both of them. Gotta have one hand free at least. But yeah, Black Rifle coffee. I don't go nowhere without it. Whether I'm going to work, driving home from work, going on hikes, or just getting the day started on the weekend, gotta have a good cup of coffee. Alright, so this loop is pretty much close to complete. Here you go. Here's another reason. If you see all these thorns, they got thorns on this shit. And if you go to walk through some of this shit during the warmer months, and it's got all sorts of leaves and you really can't see, and you go to walk through it, that might just fucking ruin your day. It's not rocket time. 3, 2, 1. Other side. 3, 2, 1. Ugh. Got to clear out the nasal passages during the winter more so than any other time. Septum's all fucked up. I should probably go get that fixed. Whatever that is. There's a bird. Either a hawk or an eagle. You could see other people stopping to take pictures. Probably out of frame now. I don't know if you were able to see it. But I got a late jump on it because I'm looking into the camera a lot. But yeah, we hit the loop. Loop complete. HBJ walking back. Got that lake or river over there. Walking through the Electric Avenue again. Passing some nice people. Whew. Hello. If you were here, you could hear the crackling of Electric Avenue. The electric going through the wires. It sounds just like electric sounds. Sort of like the buzzing and crackling. Don't know what, if any, effects come through by being in this area. I'm sure not much, if anything, by just passing through as we are. But that being said, probably living in an area like this isn't good for the health, I would say. I would guess. Now that we saw that either hawk or eagle, which they have both in this area, we gotta have to be on the lookout. There's a ton of birds nest up in these trees, which I would assume would be something. You could hear birds cawing in the background. Whew. I'm sure this place would be super alive during the warmer months. Not all, but most of the birds are long gone by now. It's been cold as shit this year, and this past week was 4 out of 5 days a no-go at work because of the cold. We passed the first sign already. Just gonna march past some of the things that we've already seen. That way we're not showing doubles of stuff. Got another beat up looking tree. Looks like it was a tree growing around a tree. To me anyways. Pretty cool looking. I wonder if there was any Indians out in this area. You'd assume so, because you got 2 waterways, being that you'd have fish, you'd have animals, you'd have a water source. You'd have areas you can make shelter with forest. I mean, this would be an ideal spot. Oh, there's squirrels. Can't see them, they're running around. Hello. This being one of the most populated places that we've taken the walks. Oh, I know what that place is now. You can see behind the house, they got canoes and maybe kayaks, but they got boats back there. As we walk around, you got people walking. I don't know if that's a trail or not. We're about to find out. But if they come right back out, we'll know. Not a trail. But I think during the summer months, be a place you can rent a canoe or kayak. It does look like a trail, and we will take it. This is the first sign that we came up to. And now we're gonna hit the house. Now I think this house, now that I have seen behind it, is a storage place. Interesting, they made what looks like to be the garage to be almost the entire size of the house, and then probably parking for people who work at it. As you can see back there, you got some boats. Not that they're really trying to, they got the fence up, but it's not, I don't know why they have a three-pane fence up, but you can't really keep people out. We're going to take a walk around the initial building that I went into for the information. And I went in and bought a little gift for my wife and my son. And my wife grew up in Manhattan. And they had, when she was younger, she told me she used to collect arrowheads in her yard. She had a lot of land growing up in Manhattan. Oh, here you go to squirrel running around. But she said they were all taken at some point growing up. So I thought it'd be nice, something nice to give, and something cool history-wise to give to her and Dylan. Here comes more people. I love this. I love that this place is super populated. Coming up on the building, I'll get a view of the outside of the building. The guys coming up on us have walking sticks. I think on days I'm not filming and I'm out for walks, I'm gonna have to get me some of those. Excuse me. How's it going? Another sort of uphill. Got a little pond with a deck. Coming up on a nice view of one of the rivers. I'm not going to go up there and read the panels. They got panels and stuff. When it's nice out, they got all sorts of classrooms in there for kids to learn. They have a giant fish tank. They got all sorts of cool stuff for kids in there. Sort of like a mini Starved Rock. Here you go. There's a boat out there steaming up. Looks like they got a barge there as well. Here's the building. That's the grand room, they called it, if I'm not mistaken. They got lights and shit out. I think they have weddings and stuff here. Wouldn't be a bad spot for a wedding. Brianna Zabirick went to the University of Nebraska. Great moments are born of great opportunities. Rest here if you must, but don't ever quit. By Coach Tom Hines. Enjoy the view. And what a great view it is. I have another couple panels up there. We're gonna go check those out because they have a few of them. And we'll walk straight through and keep going back to the car. We'll hitch a ride to the next post and continue our walk for the day. Bald eagles. I know these things usually turn. An eagle's talon can squeeze with 1,000 pounds of pressure per square inch. That's crazy. The sharp curve of a beak is used to tear its food into pieces. They rub it on rocks and branches to sharpen it. American pelican. Their pouch is called a gular sack. It can hold 3 gallons of water. This is cool if you can come here and see all this shit. Really is. Channel cats, beavers, minks. I think a lot of this is what we saw in another spot. So we started here. We walked all the way here. Now we came all the way here. Now what we're going to do is come all the way here, drive to here, take a loop, and call that a day. Loving memory of Meredith Craig. Loving husband and father, Justin Craig. Got a nice little gazebo here. I'm assuming they got the lights. I'm assuming if you had the wedding here. Actually, I'm not going to jump down there. I'm old enough to where if I jump down there, there's a chance I twist or break something. That ain't worth it. I have to explain to my guys at work I was trying to be a fucking hero. And I'm just old. Here's the building. Really cool. We get to the car, folks. We are going to take a break. And we'll start back up when we get to the next spot. The Riverside Shelter, it's called, the place we were just at. This is where we started the walk. Please tell me I have my car key. All right. I'm going to pause this and take a break. I'm going to be back in a minute. Okay, we're back. I went up 2 spots just for shits and giggles, or as some call, giggles and shits. We're gonna go the information plot like we usually do. Let me fix these. We're going on the outside of the hat. It's too cold to go underneath today. There we go. You got another pisser, another gazebo. Hopefully this one has a "you are here" again. Reapply my gloves. Glove number 1 in place. More people walking down our way. And glove number 2 in place. Here we go. They got boating, education, natural shelters. You can rent these shelters actually. Different events and festivals. Definitely be checking that out. All right, where's the "you are here"? I'm assuming we are somewhere here. So we are going to take this route. Let's see where it takes us. Got another view of the river here. See where the next part of the journey goes. We could have just stayed on the path and went the whole loop and came all the way back up. But I figure when I'm ready to leave, I'm not going to have to want to walk all the way back up the fucking hill. This is better. We're going to go down by the water, come back, flip a bitch, and go back on the path. Excuse me. And the only reason I'm doing this is canoe access. Interesting. So, we saw this on one of the other places. Be river responsible. I think it was the same sign. DuPage River gives you the whole thing. I'm guessing this is where you launch, obviously. You got animal tracks all over. This one's dedicated to Danielle Bello Brandich and Sarah Heedman. This one's called the Carrie Sheridan Grove. I see shit like this, it makes me want to get a canoe or a kayak and enjoy the fuck out of being outside in the summer. Gonna have to figure out a way to mount a camera so we can document the trips and have ruck rants while boating, ruck rants while hiking. Just have bullshit and shit. Do a couple live sessions sometimes. But yeah, there's nothing better than being outside in nature. I've always loved it. It was always a plus for me in the military, unless it was cold, because being cold in the military absolutely fucking sucks. There ain't nothing worse. I'd try and show you, but I ain't got zoom on my fucking camera here. But you got birds' nests all over the place in these trees. Some of them higher, some of them bigger. Right up there. It makes you wonder what different kinds of birds that they got out here. Obviously, in those panels we saw earlier, they got shit tons of birds, shit tons of animals out here. You'd assume they would. There's river, there's water source. Another mystery, they got 1, 2, 3, 4 sections of a chain link fence. Doesn't make too much sense, but we'll call it what it is. We got a splitway with what looks like another information tab. We're definitely going to go to the right, but we're going to see what this is. McKinley Woods is straight ahead, the I&M Canal State Trail. You are here, so it goes this way or this way. What we're going to do is go this way, come back, and go here, because I don't think this is a big enough loop. So we're going to go this way. We're not going to go to the McKinley Woods. The water actually came all the way up, as you could see, onto the walking path. We're going to give this a rub and just see how much the HBJ got in them today. So far, it's not been a bad walk, making some good time, making some good distance. Obviously, when you're bullshitting, talking, and walking, in my eyes, you're going a little slower. If I had an engaged conversation where I'm not paying attention to the phone itself, I feel like I'd be going a little faster. Like if I were to have another special guest, which could be in the works soon. Stuff like that happens. So, as we go, who knows how long this trail is. We're just going to go a little bit up for the day. I've already been hiking for 35 minutes. And I feel great, actually. I feel real good. Got whatever the fuck that kind of shit is. Another knockdown tree. You could tell that one's dead as a doornail. Oh, I just walked through shit. There's shit all over the place. That's another thing you got to worry about walking on trails, is stepping in shit. Hopefully I get some snow to get through and smear that shit off my boot or my shoes. It's another thing I'm contemplating. If we get another ones with natural / man-made trails that you're actually going through forests, to bust out the old boots. Interesting. Somebody brought a picnic table in the middle of the lake. People are crazy, folks. Maybe somebody went for a swim one time and wanted to have some lunch. Who knows? There's another bird feeder out there on that tree, if you guys are able to see. Now this is where I could surely use a walking stick. As you can tell, the water levels here are pretty close to actual levels of the ground. And my assumptions, which I'm dumb as fuck, but could be right at some point, is that when we get heavy rains, that they actually might spill over. So this, I'm assuming, is some kind of off-road track, being that there's tire marks, and it looks like they got actual street signs, which is strange. I'm gonna go up probably, another couple 100 feet, flip a bitch, and we're gonna head back to Stability. And I'm gonna chug me that Black Rifle coffee. I like to go as far as I can without liquids, because I've always been good at not using liquids. And when we were in Afghanistan, we were always black on liquids. If you could see, you probably can't, but right where that gray house is with the white awning, there's a horse. Right in what looks like a covered garage type. But yeah, we were always black on water, so you had to choose to sip hot ass water when you were thirsty, brush your teeth, use water to heat your food. I really don't think many people, if any, ever used their water to heat their food, because warm food was never a priority. People did brush their teeth in the mornings. There's a couple animals out in the backyard, a white and a brown. Can't tell what they are. They're smaller. Maybe a sheep and a cow or a baby horse. I can't really tell. I got old man eyes. Yeah, as soon as we get up a little further, we'll flip the bitch and we'll figure out the comeback story. But yeah, I always chose to sip my hot ass water, and I knew there were times where people were completely black and I had to share, but it was I think it prepared me a lot for just doing stuff like this, working, doing my career nowadays in the summer. I mean, if it's available, I'll still drink water for sure at work. But that being said as well, I feel like I can go longer at times without drinking water. If I'm really crushing myself, I feel like you still need water. Now, I keep saying that I'm going to flip a bitch and turn around, but it looks like there's a bridge of some sort up here. Just get up a little further, see what it is. If it is a bridge, it is a bridge. We'll make it to this red barn and we'll turn around. Or this yellow sign. We got a yellow sign here. We'll turn around and get the fuck back. Got these houses. Nice red barn. Sucks in the winter. I feel like I breathe out my mouth more, which makes me more thirsty. For the most part, I'm usually able to breathe out my nose when I go on hikes, unless I'm doing a lot of climbing. Let's see what this sign says before we turn around. More shit on the ground. Oh, animals everywhere, folks. Animals everywhere. Caution, gate ahead. We'll make it to the sign and we'll turn around. Backside says authorized vehicles only beyond this point. Obviously there's a gate there, obviously. So for some reason vehicles can come back this way. So time to get those strides open. We'll get back a little quicker this time because we're not looking for points to see, points to talk about. Honestly, something I didn't notice on the way out. Man, if I had that fucking property and it snowed, I'm not too ashamed to say that I'd be sledding down that motherfucker all the time. I love sledding, and that's a nice sledding hill right there. I'd figure out a way to dig in, like, or get a rope or something, tie it back to somewhere on the house to where I could walk up without slipping back down the hill, because sometimes that shit gets slick. But man, that to me is a number one perfect sledding hill. 100%. I'll tell you what though, mowing that lawn would be a motherfucker. But I'll tell you, when it comes to sledding, it don't get much better than that. Here we go. Got those two little horses, but I don't know if you could see that white one. There's a white horse right there. Yep. You can start smelling them too. Yeah, the smell of horses. Whew. It is a pungent smell. You're always hearing shit in the forest at this point. I think most of them, if they're not birds, they're squirrels. I think everything else is hidden the fuck up for winter. Let's try and get a better view of that nice white horse right there. I can't tell if my phone's angled at the right spot, but there we go. Did my best, folks. Interesting, there's some big marks. I don't know if somebody, oh, those are footprints. I was gonna say, I don't know if somebody took a horse out on this thing. But yeah, I'm not gonna chance it today. It's low 20 degrees. Excuse me. And I'm not in the business of getting fucking wet and cold today for a 35, 40 minute ride home. That ain't gonna happen. Been up and at 'em for a good 45 minutes of walking, which is a good day. if it wasn't so cold out earlier this morning, we'd have got up early, tried to go for a couple hours. But you kind of got to play the weather out here in Chicago and go with what you got. And if you don't need to be out in the stupid weather, don't fucking be out in it. That's why everybody likes to call shit weather, like when it comes to football, Packer weather or Bear weather. I saw a great interview once. I want to say it was one of the old legends of the Bears, maybe Dan Hampton or Dick Butkus. Maybe it was Dick. But they brought up Bear weather. And he goes, do you think you guys have advantage in the cold weather because it's Chicago Bears weather? And he came back with probably the most stupid fucking retard moment of all time that people usually don't think about. He goes, just because we play in Chicago and just because it gets cold in Chicago and just because you guys call it bear weather doesn't mean we like playing in it. Doesn't mean that we don't get cold too. And it doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt us the same as it hurts everybody else. It's just that we do it more. We don't like it any more than people from Tampa Bay, which makes sense. But that being said, teams that play in Miami and Tampa Bay, and I would assume in domes, especially in the South, yeah, and they go and play in cold weather. It's still worse just because they're not acclimated and they don't do it. And I would assume most of their division's in warmer weather. Hello again. It's cool passing the same people sometimes on these trails. Like I said, if we got out a little earlier, we went the other direction towards those woods and seen how far, maybe walk through some of them. But for the time being, this ain't a bad hike, especially being on concrete. Don't feel the shin splints, which is always a plus. My old ass for decades has always felt when I'm on blacktop or harder surfaces, I do a lot of marching or walking, I get some nasty ass shin splints. Maybe it's just because they never fucking healed and you just keep going. Who knows? Alright, we're back at the main bridge. We're gonna check one last thing out before we go back to the car, where I told you's deer management program. Do not enter or attempt to access this forest preserve by another route. Got another bench over there, but here you go. Here's blacktop level, and there's the water, folks. This is very thick ice. As you could tell by the crack in the ice over here, it's a good at least 2.5 inches deep. And the trail this way looks as if to turn to gravel. Funny how this is all clear, kind of clear, and you could see all the way down. And there's all those leaves in there. Funny how that works. And then you get to just right over here and it's fuzzy and cloudy ice. Again, I'm a dummy. I don't know nothing about that shit. It's just things that intrigue me. Alright. Back on the uphill and back on the way to the vehicles on the way out. This has been a good hike. This has been a winter chicken dinner as far as places go. This will be another return place multiple times for sure. Maybe a place we could go canoeing or take out a kayak. We'll see. But for now, the trails are fucking good. The upkeep of this place is fucking good. The amount of stuff here, fucking good. So this place is a winner. Not all places are winners. There's been a couple one and dones. But this place is definitely a place I will be coming back to. We're waiting for the weather to break before we go to Starved Rock. Even though one of the waterfalls now is completely frozen and it looks badass as fuck. That's something down the road maybe to go to, but it's a little bit of a hike to get there. Not much from where I am now, at least, but that's a lot of hiking. That's one of those early days, and spending a lot of time and day out there. So all right, folks, we are coming back up on the car, back over by the canoe launch, these picnic bench, regular bench, and then the big gazebo up top. When we get over by the sign and the pissers, it'll be the end of the day for the HBJ. Everybody say hooray. Thank you for coming along and play. Another picnic bench. I wonder if they got those around so beavers don't come. The big gazebo up top. I guess you can rent those out, the pisser. And the Forest Preserve District of Will County. Alright, folks. It's been fun. But this is the HBJ, and I'm done. HBJ, and I'm out.